Well, hello, and welcome to Audrey After Dark. Yeah, we're doing some math. Keep it clean. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode with your girl, Audrey Codner from HESI A2 Math Tutoring. Hopefully, you guys are having a lovely evening. I feel like Delilah back in the day. Like, I know you just want to sit back, relax, and do a little bit of math. So, I know. It's been a crazy day, but it was a type of crazy that I love. So what we're going to do today, we're going to break down some math concepts that you will see in the HESI assessment. So it's going to be a lot of the basic math that anyone can jump on in and do. So we're looking at GED, also your ASVAT people, AccuPlacer, or anybody that's doing the HESI or even the TEAS test, and you want to take a look at the basic arithmetic reasoning type of problems, well then this is the live for you. Now, if you've always struggled with math and you're just like, I just want to sit and learn something, this is the perfect setting for you as well. But if you are one of my little math geniuses and you're like, oh, this is taking forever, this is so long, I love you, but you do not have to stay. You're going to get bored. You're going to want to leave. So, you do what you got to do. All right. So, but I just want to let you know that I usually take my time. We break concepts down and we basically learn some tricks of the trade of, hey, why is it A as opposed to C and so forth. So now we're going to take a look, continue on what we've been doing last weekend, was how many feet are in 6 meters? How many feet are roughly in 6 meters? So I know Sir Woody is right here saying it's D. Kevin, who's back, hey Kevin, is saying D as well. We've got Shylin. Thank you for coming on in. Okay, everyone else taking a look. Hey Breadwinner, thank you so much for the follow. Greatly appreciate it. Okay, Rosette, hello. Hi there, how are you? Okay, so if we're taking a look, some people like to know, some people think it's like 3 feet is like into a meter. So we have for like 1 foot, if I can recall correctly, I remember 0.3 roughly. So if you had to do that, I know if 1 foot is roughly 0.3 and we want 0.3 meters, and if I want to know how many feet are going to be in 6 meters, what I could do is like a little bit of cross multiplying if I want, and that's when I can get my 6 and I can actually divide it by that 0.3 and try to get roughly to where I need to be. So once you have, once you get that 0.3, 6 divided by 0.3, it gives you like roughly 20. So the only one that really gets us really close to 20 is going to be letter D. So if you're not too certain with the exact, some people like to cross multiply. So I got my 0.3x. And then 1 times 6 will give me my 6. And if I wanted to, I can divide both sides by 0.3. And again, if you are going to be doing long division with the HES, you can use a calculator. You can use a scientific calculator. But for all my GED and my ASVAT people that are trying these things out, you need to practice using without a calculator because you will not be allowed to use a calculator, okay? Don't even think about bringing your own calculator. They're going to tell you to lock it up somewhere because they're not even going to let you get in there with it. All right? Okay? So let's try. Here we go. I'll leave this one up here. So, express the ratio of 25 to 80 as a percentage. CJ, if I think I knew that, do you think I'll be sitting here? Well, I don't know if we can trust the stock market anyway. Okay. Oh, hey, Jordan. How are you? Thank you for hearting in. Okay, so Kayla's thinking it's A. Yep, divide and choose the closest answer. You can try to do that. Okay, so you're thinking A as well. Kevin's thinking it's A. Tal A. Sid A. That's what you did, right? Okay. So it's either you're learning from me very well, or if you're very intelligent, you're just here to humor me. Okay? Yeah, we can definitely figure it out together. Who's terrible at anything math? Well, here's my thing. First off, you're not terrible at anything math. Okay? Your introduction to math was terrible. Okay? I don't know if it was teacher. I don't know if it was atmosphere, if it was confidence, if it was lack of knowledge. But no matter what, no, you're not terrible at it. You just need to practice. Okay? You just need to take your time. So hopefully through all these lives, you'll be able to learn and we'll be able to break concepts down quickly. Yep. Okay. Hurry. Show me how. Okay, 1, I do not respond to hurry. Try again. We have manners in this place. I know you definitely have some upbringing. Okay, so you're saying A right with Thunder Daddy. Nice name. Okay, Row with the A. All right. Because we want to get Rosette saying A. All right, so let's take a look. First, we need to look at our ratio. Okay, so Bombshell is saying A as well. Okay. Okay. So we're taking a look at the ratio. Sometimes it can be written like this as a colon, or it can be written like this as a fraction. I know here we're probably going to have a lot of international people, which is great, but I like to see it as a fraction. So now I can see it a little bit clearer for me to reduce it. Anytime you're given a ratio, you always take a look to see if you can reduce it. So I know with 25 and 80, they definitely have 5 in common. So if I reduce both the numerator and the denominator by 5, 25 divided by 5 will give me 5. And then 80 divided by 5, that will give me 16. This makes it a little more manageable to deal with. You're going to get the same answer, the same percentage, right? So if I actually divide, so that means my numerator is going underneath, my denominator is on the outside. So right now, since I do see some decimals kind of going on in here, I'm going to put my decimal and my 2 zeros, because I know there's not enough 16s to go into 5, so that would be 0. But how many 16s can go into 50? Well, that's 3, because that will give me 48. So right away, since I see that, gives me a remainder of 2, and we're going to bring down this 0 to make it 20. Since I see this 3 here, immediately I'm coming over to the answer choices, and C and D is out. So this is how we do the process of elimination. All right? So the reason why I divide by 5 is because that's what 25 and 80 have in common. Anything that ends in 5s and 0s definitely are dealing with your 5 times tables. Okay, so that's the reason why I did that. Right? So your denominator is always going to be your divisor. It's always outside. Yes, Randy. Okay. All right. So now, we're not done. I was like, are we done? No, we're not done. So now we're going to do the process again. So how many 16s can go into 20? Well, 1. So that gives us our 16 here. So 20 minus 16, that gives me 4. So because I'm seeing that 31, immediately I'm going over here. This has a 34, this has a 31. That's going to be my answer. Okay? Even if I keep going. Because if I keep going, I'm going to change this to 40. Then I'm going to have this be a 2, because that gives me 32. And then that's going to give me an 8. Add another 0. Bring that bad boy down. Now we got 80. So that's going to be a 5. And that's going to be exactly 80. So if I take this 3125, and if I multiply it by 100 because I want it as a percent, all I do is move this decimal place over 2 places, so that will give me my 31.25. But remember, you don't get extra points for doing all of this. When it comes to the standardized test, GED, ASVAT, Accuplacer, TEAS test, HESI, doesn't matter. They only care if you gave them A, B, C, or D. That's all they care about. But if you're in class, the teacher is going to want to see your whole process. Plus, it helps them if they want to give you partial credit. They're like, oh, okay, we see where your error is. And then we can know what to do for the next class to make that correction for you. That's different. So the way you take the SATs, the ACTs, GED, basically any letter from A to Z, whatever exam they want to call it, they just care about, are you picking the right letter choice for your answer? Okay. Hey, Robert. Right. Okay, why are we able to keep adding zeros? Are we not sure about how to do decimals? I'm a little scared now. Classwork compared to actual tests. Exactly. All right. Hey, Robert, how are you? Okay. All right. Any study advice for the SATs? Definitely practice, practice, practice. And know your multiplication. Okay? Trust me, if you know and understand your multiplication, you can do anything. But here's the thing with the SATs, they take what you learn in class and you have to learn to think outside of the box. Okay? You have to learn to think outside the box. So that's why the ACTs, if you want to get a test that's going to be closely related to what you're learning in class, the ACT will be a better option, especially if your English is a second language. The ACT will be the better choice for you. And then you can just ask, depending on what school you want to attend to, do your research. See if they do take the ACT. Heck, see if they do take the SAT, because a lot of schools changed their philosophy since COVID. So always take a look to see. Research what schools you want to go to. And always make sure it's a school that you want to attend to, not because it's historically popular with your family members. It doesn't work out. All right, 34. A package of 10 pencils is divided between every 2 students in class. If there are 20 students in class, then how many pencils are needed? Is it A, 20, B, 40, C, 80, or D, 100? Okay, so for those that are coming in, this is just a sample of the HESI exam, some of the components that is being used and measured in the HESI. Okay, so we got D's, we got B's, we got D's. Clement with 20, that would be an A. Rosette saying D, Rod saying B, Sat saying D, Edwin saying D. Okay, Clement said an A. The HESI is another nursing school entrance exam. Okay. So Kevin D, Bobster D, Brandon D, Brian D, Glow D, Queen D, AG D, Kenner D, Kevin D, Addicted, hey Addicted, D, Kind Sane A. Okay. Is that Kiana with a D? Ginger Ale with an A. Pinky D. Maya D. Okay. Right or wrong, definitely D. Okay. All right. Kiana. Kiila. Oh, okay. Got it now. I'm so sorry. Okay, that was so E. Good. We got with D. All right. Now, let's take a look. So if we're talking about 10 pencils, we're comparing those 10 pencils to every 2 students. So they want to know how many pencils for 20 students. So we can take a look at it this way. This is called a proportion. Yes, we could cross multiply, but here's another thing you can look at it. How do I get from 2 to 20? Well, I can multiply that by 10. If I multiply the 2 and the 10 to get 20, that means I can multiply the numerator by 10. And 10 times 10, that gives me 100. Okay. All right. Nah, that's the 5th power. All right. So if you don't like it that way, that's just looking at the pattern. How do I get from 2 to 20? I multiply by 10. Whatever I do in the denominator, I do in the numerator. But if you feel like, hey, can I just cross multiply? Sure. When you have an equal sign in between, you can cross multiply. So that will give me my 2x. And then 100 times 20, that gives me my 200. Then you can divide both sides by 2. There is multiple ways of getting the same answer. Okay? Okay. No more my way is the highway. Okay? Confused? What you're confused about? Problem. How do I know it was probability? Not probability, proportion. Anytime you're doing a comparison, that's when you got a proportion. Yep. Thank you, Kiana. Appreciate that. Okay. Do harder questions? Sure, pay me. I got a tutoring service that is just fabulous. Or else I got courses that you can do as well. Okay? Can't be demanding and be not ready to tap because there's 300 of you guys and I got 3,000. I don't know. I don't know, kiddos. I don't know. I love how people are demanding. All right. So, what date in the Arabic numerals is is Roman numeral MCC 1V IV? What is this date? Everybody's like, what? You know, Kevin, that's what I'm saying. Oh, damn, she pretty. How are you? Is this math dog? Yeah, dog. Okay. Bow Wow is saying 1204. Kevin's saying 1204. Okay. Not what you thought. Ooh, I'm scared to know what I was thinking. Saying 1204. Okay, then she pretty think it is 2006. You're saying, huh? Okay. Suggesting? No. No. That is your perspective. Okay, so Monkey Jackson agrees with 1204. Everyone's saying, okay, I'm going to show you why in a moment. Okay, thank you for your honesty, Rosette. All right. Okay, and thank you for your honesty, Amira. Good. Ahmed saying 1204. All right. So, I know they don't teach this too much in school. So, the M, that's going to represent your 1,000. The C represents your 100. And the IV, that represents 4. So since you have one of your M's, that's 1,000, and you have 2 of your C's. So if one C is 100, 2 C's will be 200. And then your IV is your 4, so that's going to be 0, 4, because that's going to take the place of your ones spot. Basically, in a way, Nick. All right. Yep. So now you learned a little something. I don't know. Show your friends. It's a little party. Little party thing. Okay. Do I do human A and P? No. No worries. Okay, so for 36, a certain number is 7 less than the product of 18 and 4. What is the value of that number? Okay, no problem. Can I restart or close my eyes? No. Just open them for the rest of it. It's kind of crazy. All right. So Monkey Jackson is telling me B. Bow Wow is saying B. Robert saying B. Okay, you're saying B. Okay. Is that you're saying B? Okay, Jordan Squared saying B. Product means you multiply. Yes, Robert. Yep, product means you multiply. Okay, take a couple more answers. Okay, Peppermints, same B, nice. All right, Destiny, you think it's A? All right. Janae, same B. All right, let's take a look. So setting up questions like this is your worst weakness. Not a problem, Mr. L. That's what we're going to do. We're going to see if we can break it on down. Randy's saying A. We got B. B according to my mental math. Let's go. So a certain number. So we don't know what that number is. So right now I'm going to make that X. Okay. Is 7 less than the product of 18 and 4. So we got 2 operations going on at the same time. We have less than, and we have product of. So product of means multiplication. So over here, we're going to have 18 times 4. But the placement is going to be interesting because it says 7 less than. Less than means subtraction. So we're saying that 7 is going to be less than the product of 18 and 4. So that means 18 times 4 is going to go first. Then you're going to follow with the minus, because that's the less than, 7. Okay, so this is how you set it up. Yes, okay? But you have to set it up first. So now you got your 18 and 4. 8 and 4 is 32. Carry the 3. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 3 is 7. So we got our 72 minus our 7. And we're doing this so we can find the value of that number. So 72 minus 7, that gives me 65, which is letter B. So Mel, the reason why you do product first is please excuse my dear and Sally. Okay? Anytime you're simplifying, you always have to go through this process. Okay? If not, we'd be wearing our underwear on the outside of our clothes, which is interesting. That was a thing that we did in the 90s. Thanks, Madonna. But here we go. All right. So is this test like the one in New Jersey? It's the same test everywhere. Okay? No problem. All right. Now, the key thing, and I mentioned this today, that when you're doing order of operation, say you're here in the States, we usually do PEMDAS. We always forget about the accents of going from left to right when you're doing multiplying, a division, or addition, subtraction. Okay? You always start from the left going to the right. So if division comes before multiplication, you got to do the division. If subtraction comes before addition, you got to do the subtraction. So that's the key part that screws a lot of people up. Okay. All right. Okay. So, going with this one. Okay. So these are some of the things. Okay. And that's fine. Okay, I'm very proud for the people that, hey, you had to make a decision when you were younger. You were put in a situation that maybe you couldn't graduate from high school. Maybe you couldn't finish up, but now you want to go back. And 1, I'm very proud of you. 2, it's going to be intimidating. But 3, now you have a place to ask your questions. Okay? So let's get it. So we're multiplying 1500ths, that's how you properly pronounce it, times, I know there's an X, just work with it, 5200ths. Okay, good. Thank you, Amira, for saying that. Okay, sometimes the kids will come with a question and then you're like, I don't know how to do it. So, but I've been helping a couple parents out this week. I got new people. All right, so I got a whole bunch of B's. Hey, Big Al. How you doing, Janae, Peppermint, Bow Wow? Learn this until today. Hey, let's do this, Maria. We got this. All right. AG with B, pre-algebra. It could be pre-algebra, but it's really supposedly the beginning parts of the HES. I always have to think about it. HESI exam for the entrance exam for nursing. And you got a lot of the basic math in there because you guys do a lot with decimals. You do a lot with conversions. You guys do a lot with probabilities and ratios. I mean, like, you really have the stem of the basic math. So my suggestion, really get to know your multiplication table because that is going to be your saving grace. Okay? All right. Hello, Angela. Not a problem, D. All right. So, got a lot of B's. You can actually solve this problem without actually solving it. Yeah, SATs does have conversions. Not a lot, but there are some stuff in there. Especially with minutes to hours and hours to minutes and miles Not really the kilometers, but sometimes miles to inches when it comes to a map. Yes, Robert, that's exactly what I'm about to do. Okay, so we got some B's, we got some A's, we got some C's. Exactly, BJ. Love it. All right. We don't have to do the actual multiplication here. Okay, remember, these are timed assessments. Anything that can kind of break it down in less the time frame. So last time I checked with the HESI, they will give you like roughly like a minute 5 or wait, hold on. A minute 10. So sorry. Okay, they will give you a minute 10 to solve for each problem. So the next problem, I'm actually going to put a timer on it so you can see what a minute 10 looks like. But when you multiply, you're basically looking at how many decimal places you have for each one. So this one has 2 decimal places. This one also has 2 decimal places. So for your answer, you're basically going to add up how many decimal places you're going to have. That means your answer should have 4 decimal places in them. If I take a look at D, that's only 1 decimal place. That's done. C, that's 2 decimal places. That's done. A, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 decimal places. Okay. This was 1, 2, 3 decimal places. So which one do you think is my answer? It should be A. Because you need something that was going to give you 4 decimal places. And this is why I went blue collar. Okay. It's not B. Okay. Want me to show you? Here we go. You have 0, 15, 10, 0, 0.52. Again, this is 2 decimal places. This is 2 decimal places. 5 times 2 is 10. Carry the 1. 2 and 2 is 2. 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3. Then you have your 0. Now, 5 and 5, that's 25. Put down the 5. Carry the 2. Some of you guys love to put that space holder of the 0. So 5 times 1 is 5 plus 2 is 7. Then you have your 5 and 0. Now, you have your zeros. 1, 2, 3. Doesn't even matter, but we're going to put them down anyway. So now you have your 0. You have your 8. You have your 7. And you have your 0. So you're starting all the way back here. You're needing 4 decimal places. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. But, no, it can't be. There's something wrong. Oh, no. No. You are right. It is B. I'm so sorry. Because the 0 is going to be here at the end. So sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I forgot to put the 0 at the end. This is what happens when you work too much. So I apologize for whoever I think it was Bow Wow. I'm sorry, Bow Wow. Yep, so it is B. You almost had you. No, but Yeah. So I forgot to add the 0 at the end. Okay. But at least when I'm mistakes, I step up and I claim them. All right. Yep. So it is B. It is B. Does chemistry need math? Yes, Justin. My God, man. Yes. You need at least Algebra 2 with chemistry. And I know balancing things out, I don't know it particularly, but if you need someone, there's this lady called Professor TK. She knows her stuff. So if you are looking for a chemistry person. Yeah, it's going to be B because at the end of the 8, it's a 0. And the 0 wasn't there as a placeholder, so we have to put the 0 there. Yep. Why only one placeholder on the last line? What do you mean? Mr. M does what? What are you talking about? How about Mr. M? I don't know. I just know who does chemistry. That'll be it. So Kevin, what are you saying? Why only one placeholder on the last line? Because really, if I look at it, if I add the zeros on the ends of all of them, this will actually act as like 2 placeholders, but we need 4. So that's why that was out. This one with the 0 at the end, this will be 3, and we need 4, so that will be out. So this one, if the 0 at the end, this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we need 4, not 5, so that's why that's out. So it will be B. 2, 3, 4, 5, and we need 4, not 5, so that's why that's out. So it will be B. Okay. All right. Okay. 38. Okay. 2.4 times 4.2. How many placeholders should we have? Include the 0. Well, hold on. We don't have a 0 at the end this time. No, this is not the last one. I still got some time. Because I have... I got like one more page left and then I'm done. Okay. So I'm getting some B's. I'm sitting some B's, some B's, some B's. Okay, getting some B's like 10.8s. We got Savannah, we got my Bows, we got Angelina, we got AG, same B's, we got Tech with a B. Hey, Marvel Lee. Okay, Isabel, need help in math. I'm trying to get my GED. Go ahead and message me. I'm telling you. I had another person that was asking about a group, but no one wants to do a group. I don't know. I mean, I'm only going to be offering a lot of these things, actually, because tomorrow's the 1st. So, you know, that's what I'm saying. Get it. If I ask about triples. Okay. All right. So, if we want to make sure you got your 2.4, you got your 4.2. If you are multiplying, right now we don't have any zeros to place on the ends. So we got 4 and 2, that gives me 8. 2 and 2, that gives me 4. 4 and 4, that gives me 16. Carry the 1. 4 and 2 is 8 plus 1, that gives me 9. So this is 1 decimal place. This is 1 decimal place. That means our answer needs to have 2 decimal places. So you have your 8, 6 and 4, that's 10, carry the 1, and that will give you your 10. So moving it over 2 decimal places, 1, 2, that means that decimal places in between the 10 or the 2 zeros, which will give us answer of B. So this time we're not going to have a 0 on the end because 5 times the 2 in the previous one gave us our extra 0. Gave us our 0, not an extra 0. Okay. So 37 was B. This one is B. So we got double B's. BB. Okay. Yes, it is, because this is actually a sample of a HESI exam. Okay. Because that's the one thing, is knowing our multiplication, knowing our decimals, where did they go? When you're adding, subtracting with the decimal, all we're doing is lining the decimal points up. But multiplying, you want to see how many multiplication, how many spaces there are, how many decimal spaces there are. There we go. All right. Okay, last page. Last page. Because I know I'm on a little later than I usually am. But I just wanted to make sure I get on to kind of support my peoples. All right. So, start time. So, if the outside temperature on a sunny day is 82 degrees on Fahrenheit scale, what is the approximate temperature on the Celsius scale? Okay, good, Daniel. All right. So I do. Isabel, if anything, hit that Service Plus button at the bottom of your screen, and you can just message me or DM me directly. Okay. You're copying all? Good job. Okay, so we're saying C's and C's. Okay. Good. Keep trying. Good. Want to guess C? Got D. There's like a service button at the bottom. It says Service Plus. And there's like all my info in there. Hey, Michael. How are you? All right. That was a minute 10. Okay, so we got our C's. Got Mari with C, Joel with a D. I don't know this. That's all right, Angela. Thank you for your honesty. Okay, Craig's got D on his mind, man. This is the ultimate overload saying C. We got this. Daniel with a C. Thank you, Test Square. Appreciate it. Bob's saying 24. Used to solve this besides Google. Well, you can't really use Google. All right. The head. Did it in your head. Okay. All right. Good. With B's, tone D's. We got D's. You're guessing B. Okay. Do you round up? You could round up. Yes. Because since they have that terminology approximate, I would round up. All right. So this comes from, and this is the formula that I can remember, is when I go to Celsius, is 5/9 of the difference of Fahrenheit minus 32. You're probably like, where did this formula come from? Every time I hear Celsius, I always think of this. And if I have to do Fahrenheit, I would actually solve this equation for Fahrenheit. So I just always remember Celsius. Don't ask me why. I don't know why my brain works this way. I have no clue. But they're telling me there's 82 degrees, okay, Fahrenheit scale. So that means I have my 5/9. Instead of the F, I'm going to put in the 82. Minus the 32. Okay. So now, I'm going to take it up here, give myself a little bit more room. So now, I still have my C. It equals my 5/9. Now, what's 82 minus 32? Okay. Okay. We got our 50s. Thank y'all. All right. So now I notice that I can't really simplify nice and even with my 50 and the 9. So it kind of looks like I'm going to have to multiply the 5 and the 50 over my 9 and the 1. Anytime you multiply a fraction with a whole number, make the whole number into a fraction by putting a 1 underneath it. It doesn't devalue or change the value of the 50. It just helps it to go nice and even across. So 5 times 50, 5 times 5 gives me 25, and I just add the 0. So we got 250 over 9. So then this is when old time long division comes in. So I got my 250, which goes in the house. The 9 stays outside the house. So how many 9s go into 2? 0. How many 9s go into 25? That will be 2. Because 3 will be too much. 9 times 2, that gives me my 18. Now again, on the HESI, you can use a calculator. The reason why I'm doing this is also to help people that has GED, the ASVAT, the Accuplacer. They cannot use a calculator. Okay, so we have to practice both ways. So now we have 25 minus 18, so we're going to borrow to make this into a 5. So 15 minus 8 will give me 7. And then I bring down my 0. So then I go through the process again. How many 9s gives me 70 without going over? Well, we got 7. Because 7 times 9 gives me 63. Do the division again, I'm going to get a 7. So it looks like even if I make it a decimal, and I add another 0 to make it 70, I'm going to still get this same 7 repeating over and over and over. So right here, once I got the 2 up here, I'm immediately going over here to see what I can eliminate. I could eliminate D and A because I'm dealing with the 2. Once I got this 7, I'm immediately going over here. It's not going to be 24. It's probably going to be something that's going to be rounded. And that's why Jenny asked me, could it be rounded up? There you go. Okay. All right. So the 5/9 is a part of the problem. Is a part of the formula. Not the problem. The formula. Okay. All right. Because that's the only way that I know how to do the conversion from Celsius to Fahrenheit. I'm going to be truthful. That's the only way I know how to change it. Okay. Jesus help. I know. Okay. ASVAT, oh yes, you can use this for the ASVAT as well. All right, so, and we're gonna do some more ASVAT focused questions tomorrow night. Well, that way, hold on. 6:30. I can go 6:30 to 7:30. I think tomorrow I'm going to either be on at 6:30 or 7. One of the two. Unless I get a client, then I'm going to have to take the client because mama's got to pay bills. All right. Okay, so, nope, we're still going on. We're still going on. All right. No, you don't hate math. The reason why you feel that you guys hate math is because you feel like, I'm not good at it. I'm stupid. I'm not going to amount to anything. Okay, ready? This is said completely out of love. Shut up. Stop. This is stuff that you believed since you were a little kid. You can do math. I'm proof that you can do math. I used to suck at math, like hardcore sucking of math. Word problems, didn't want to do them. If I saw a fraction, I would sit and cry. I had teachers that took me out of my seat, put me in a corner, gave me a whole list of problems to do. Well, if I knew how to do the problem by myself or while you were doing it in class, why the hell are you putting me in a corner and making me do a whole list of problems thinking that that was going to help? No. No one really had to teach me. All of a sudden, one person said that fractions is nothing but dividing. And next thing you know, bada boom, bada bing, my whole world just brightened up. And I said, as long as I'm still here, I'm going to help people. I'm going to help because now I kind of understand it. And if I don't understand it, I go and solve it. So here's my thing. Cut the crap out. It's not cute. All right? It's not cute. You can do it. And you will do it. Only if you want to. Okay? All right. Love you. Mwah. Okay? You got it. Sometimes it takes people time for it to click. Or maybe it takes a teacher that's not overly stressed with like 40 kids in the classroom and still have to answer emails and answer phone calls and go to meetings and do all this stuff and still can't do what they would love to do, which is teach. Ask any teacher. Ask any teacher. Doesn't matter. Elementary, middle school, high school, professors, adjunct professors, anything, anybody's in education. And that's teaching. Ask them, are you ever really allowed to truly teach? And they will dead ass look in your face and say no. That's why a lot of them are leaving. They can't do what they studied for. All right, so I'm seeing a whole bunch of B's. I'm seeing a couple of A's. Okay, so I'm seeing a whole lot of B's. So we have a scale drawing of a garden. So 2 centimeters is 1 meter. If the garden measures 8 centimeters by 10 centimeters in the drawing, how large will it be in reality? Notice your answers. Your answers are in meters. Okay? Your answers are in meters. So if 2 centimeters equals 1 meter, so how many centimeters would that be? Just with the 8, that's going to be 4. Okay? Because 2 times 4 gives me 8. So then we got to change these centimeters into meters. So 2 centimeters getting up to 10 centimeters, that will be 5 meters. Answer is going to be B. Because you had to change from centimeters to meters. Okay? You meant multiplying? Yes. I got you, Big Al. You got it. All right. So anytime you're doing any kind of comparisons, you could set it up as a proportion. But here's the key things. You got to watch out, especially any of the scale drawings. Make sure that they're either sticking with the same units, but if they're switching, you got to learn to switch with them. Okay? Okay? So if you have 2 centimeters is equal to 1 meter. So if I want to get to 8, what do I need to do? I need to multiply by 4. Okay, so if I got 2 to 8, I got to multiply by 4. So that's where that 4 is coming from. That's what they had to do to get from 2 to 8. I had to go to 4. How did I get from 2 to 10? I had to multiply by 5. So that's where the 5 came from. You're so welcome. Okay. All right. Let's finish this out. So, 41. Let me squeeze in just a hat. All right. Gerald can bake 3 dozen cookies in 30 minutes. How long would it take him to bake 12 dozen cookies? So is it A, 90 minutes, B, 1 hour and 40 minutes, C, 2 hours, or D, 4 hours? Okay. Hey, Lynette. How are you? Just having some fun doing conversions. All right, so Justin's saying 120 in 2 hours. Jerry Lee saying A. Are you the Jerry Lee? So AG saying C. Anita saying C. Savannah C. Jordan Squared C. Thanks. Thank you so much, Lynette. Jackie's World C. Boston Runner C. It's Jen. Ooh, we got a Jen and a Jenny. Okay, Leo saying C, Kevin C, Cynthia C, Bridge C, Robert C. Big Al saying B, Tina C. Okay, Eve is saying C, Angela C, Erica C. Is that Yvonne? C? Okay, you're the original. Love that. Damn, she pretty. Saying C. Jerry Lee would come back with C. I don't know. Wait, you don't know me. Oh, you don't know me, man. Okay. Saying C. John A. Johnny saying A. Okay. Muhammad C. Well, let's take a look. First things first. I'm the realist. I don't know what this is. Gross. Okay. This is what happens when you're in a dark room and this is the only light that illumes. All right. First off, notice everything is in minutes and these two are in hours. Okay. So we're saying that 3 dozen cookies in 30 minutes. So how long will it take 12 dozen cookies? Well, let's go. If we have 3 dozen out of the 30 minutes. And they're saying, well, 12 dozen, because everything is still in dozens, okay? And we want to know how much time will that take? Well, how do I get from 3 to 12? I can multiply by 4. And if I can multiply this by 4, that means I should multiply this by 4. Hold on. Gotta do the slide thing. The puzzle piece. That's it. So now 30 times 4, that's going to give me 120. But this is 120 minutes. Notice for the minutes we have 90, not the same. We have an hour and 40 minutes, so an hour is 60 minutes, plus 40 minutes, That only gives me 100 minutes. Not the same. But then we have our 2 hours. 2 hours is 60 minutes. So 60 plus 60 gives me my 120. So that is my 2 hours. Answer will be C. Okay, I love Lucy. Hello. Where did I get 4 from? Well, I looked at the pattern. How do I go from 3 to 12? Well, I know that 3 times 4 will give me 12. So if I multiply the 3 4 times to get my 12, that means I can multiply the 30 4 times to get my 120. And if you don't like finding the pattern, because really, their exams, they're really not trying to go too crazy. They want people to pass. If not, you can cross multiply. When you have an equal sign, you can go ahead and cross multiply. So that will give me 3x equals my 360. And if I divide both sides by 3, I'll get my x is equal to my 120. Now remember, this is 120 minutes. And if you don't see it, try to see what the equivalent of 120 minutes is, which is 2 hours. 1 hour is 60 minutes. 60 times 2 gives you 120. Okay? Well, thank you, Robert. Right, exactly. How do you know to use 4? I'm going to be truthful, and hopefully it doesn't sound, negative. Take it as you will. It's that multiplication. Every time I'm looking at patterns, I'm looking at doing fast addition. And fast addition is multiplication. Okay? So I'm looking at 3 and I want to grow to 4. Grow to 12. So I know if I multiply that 3 to 4, I'm going to get my 12. So whatever I do in that numerator, I'm also going to do in that denominator. Okay? I don't think so. I don't think so what? Okay. I try. Because I'm trying, I hope so. I'm hearing I'm hope so. What's going on? I'm like, what did I miss? I'm seeing I hope so, I think so. Okay. Help me with the praxis? Yeah, if it's the first one, yes. All right. Are we okay? Okay. So where I get the 4 from, 3 times 4 gives me 12. Then 30 times 4 gives me my 120. Okay. All right. Well, remember, sometimes people come in a little bit later, and then they just kind of see it, and they're like, wait, I need to ask that question. Okay. Yep, so we're just looking at the pattern. We're looking at the pattern. All right, so now let's divide. 8 and 1100ths divided by 5. Which is my answer? 1.424, 1.622, 1.672, or 1.724? Okay, got a lot of B's. Got a C. We have some B's, we have some B's, we have some Mimi, Rosette, Nimzo, AG, Angela B, Ball Baby, with her B, Sharon with a B, Muhammad the B, my Downs, my Bridge, Kevin, I Love Lucy. I probably skipped a couple people. Big Al, Jordan with an N. Oh, you probably meant the B. Because the N is right next to the B. I got you. Oh, there it is. Okay, Ruthie's Beauty Salon. Oh, okay, K, 10K. Don't know the answer just by looking at the answers. Okay. So we got our B's, we got our B's. Has to be B. All right, let's take a look. All right, so if I wanted to divide this, say we do it by long division. So that means my 8.11, my 8 and 11 hundredths is going to be under, and my 5 is going to be outside. So how many 5s can go into 8? There's 1. Okay, so all of my answer choices has 1s right before the decimal point. You see the decimal point is here. That means the decimal point should be lined up. So now, instead of a 3, we're going to bring down the first one. So now we got 31. So how many groups of 5 can go into 31 without going over? Well, it's a 6. So 31 minus 30, that will give me my 1. I'm going to use this paper in a second. So right as soon as I see that 0.6, immediately I'm canceling out D and A. Now I'm bringing down the other 1. So we got 11. So how many 5s can go into 11? There's 2 of them. Because 2 times 5 gives me 10. 11 minus 10, that gives me 1. So right here, we should be picking option B. Because even if I want to keep going, all right, let me add a 0, bring it on down. So how many 5s can go into 10? 2. So that'll make it 10. And that'll give me my 0. Okay. So when you're taking GED, ASVET, HESI, TEAS test, Accuplacer, even SAT, ACT, okay, any kind of assessment, especially these standardized assessment from A to Z, whatever letters they want to throw together, they really just want you to pick the right answer. So all this extra, once you saw was 62, you look at your answer choice, you find out it's B, click it, circle it, bubble it, do whatever you want, and move on. Okay? Don't worry about doing all the extra stuff, because remember, you're being timed with these assessments. Okay? You're being timed, so you don't want to waste too much time. Yep, but math was easy, right? Any harder questions? Nope. These I eat. All right. So last question for the evening. Woo! All right. Then I can hurry up and order books and do all this other stuff I got to do. So subtract and simplify. We have 5/9 minus 2/5. Let me rewrite it out. So we have 5/9 minus 2/5. Let's see. I do not, but I do tutor geometry. Because every time I start doing geometry on TikTok, I always get a violation. I don't know why. I'm over it. I'm just so over it right now. Okay, awesome. Awesome, Rick. Well, welcome in. You missed class today? Well, today was a combination. So it was a combination. I hate geometry. Yeah. Okay. You're so over geometry. I know. But see, here's my thing. I do tutoring. So if you are serious about it and you really need that relief, please reach out and we'll figure something out. What level of math is this? I want to say like pre-algebra, a little bit beginnings, foundational math. Okay, so I'm seeing C, I'm seeing C, I'm seeing C. Okay, grade 4? Okay. See, I don't know. I just know foundational. I don't teach the younger ones. Shoot, you do not want me to teach your younger kids. My goodness. Okay. There we go. Oh yeah, and there's so many postulates and theorems. Woohoo! Okay, so you know the denominator is 45. Okay, that's a huge step right there. Not being sarcastic, I'm being truthful. That's a huge step because most people would be like, all right, it's just 5 minus 2 and then 9 minus 5. So that's 3/4. Okay, awesome, I just did it. No. All right, so we have to have a common denominator. Let's slide over. So, the number that 9 and 5 have in common. Okay? So, if I go with the whole times tables, the one thing that they both have in common is 45. So, this is going to be a 45, and this is going to be a 45. Okay? Sometimes you could just multiply them together. Sometimes you can find a number that's lower. But in order for me to change this 9 to a 45, I need to multiply it by 5. Whatever I do in the denominator, I must do in the numerator. So my new numerator is 5 times 5, which gives me 25. So that's the breakdown of that first fraction. Now for the second fraction, I need to change this 5 to a 45. That means I need to multiply it by 9. Whatever I do in the denominator, I need to do in the numerator. So 2 times 9, that gives me 18. Okay. Looks like we got a couple people who are sticking with me. Good. Now, since we have a common denominator, this is the part that people work so hard, and then all of a sudden it just goes to... Keep the denominator. Keep that 45. This operation is going for the numerators. The 25 minus 18, like some of you guys said, will give me 7. Okay? So 25 minus 18, that's where the 7 came from. So now I always double check because sometimes you can simplify it some more. So 7 and 45, the only thing they have in common, like the GCF, is just 1. Okay, 7's a prime number. 45 is a composite number. So the only thing they have in common is 1. This can't be broken down any further. So your answer is going to be C. Okay. Let me unzoom a bit. Okay, maybe some more. There we go. Okay. So a composite number is a number that has more than 2 factors. So a composite number, say 45. I can get 45 if I multiply, let me write it on here. If I multiply 1 and 45, okay, I know 5 and 9, there's others. 3 and 15, okay, they have more than one factor to get that answer of 45. Whereas if I was looking at 7, there's only one set of numbers multiplied to give me 7. That's 1 and 7. I can't get 1 and 7. That means this is a prime number, because it's only 1 in itself. This is a composite number. That's going to be good for you to know, especially if you're trying to break down radicals, which everybody, GED, ASVAT, Accuplacer, TEAS test, HESI test, all of them have radicals, especially the square roots. Accuplacer, you're going to see square roots and cube roots. Okay? All right. What's a radical? Do I teach? I know. There's a lot of stuff going on, kiddos. All right. So, do I teach calculus? I do not. I know my friend Robert does. Yeah, but I do not do calculus. I'm so sorry. Okay. I want to say, is that a high school equivalency test? Like trying to get, that's what GED is. Yep, so any letter of the Z alphabet. You are so welcome. Okay, can I tag Robert? I thought Robert was in here. I guess he's gone live right now. And then plus, sometimes I can't remember what his name is. And he might be under, I don't even know what he's under. Main Street Tutors, I think that's the other one that he's under. Everyone with the aliases. All right. Well, this is HESI. I don't know what you guys use a HESI for. So what's the difference between that and that? Different states, different districts. It's the same math. It's the same exact math. Log? Log's not new. Okay, you are so welcome, everyone. I appreciate you guys spending your evening with me, or afternoon, or day, whatever it is. So what we're going to be doing tomorrow is going to be looking at a couple inserts from ASVAT for Dummies. I know, I keep saying it, I hate the name, but the problems that they use, especially the word problems, especially the arithmetic reasoning, I hear is very close related to the actual test. So if you want to come and join me, I'm probably going to be here either at 6:30. Hold on. Let me double check. Because today the schedule keeps flipping around. Let's make it 6:45. Gives me some time. Okay, so at 6:45 Eastern Standard Time, I'll be back and I'm going to be doing some problems just like how I did tonight, with more of like the ASVAT feel. So if you're taking your GED, your ASVAT, your all those, whatever the letters of the alphabet they want to use, any of those assessments, you can still join in, because see, a lot of those basic components are still being addressed. So I would still say, if you can show up, come on, show up. Everything's going to be great. If anything, I know I didn't work on anything inside my notebook, but I also have math notebooks. If you guys are serious about getting your GED and you don't know where to start, I do have courses available. There is like a Service Plus, or if anything, DM me and I can lead you into the right direction, because supposedly every time I tried to do the right way with TikTok, next thing you know, I got a violation. So I don't want to get too many violations to the point that I love how they give me violations, but yet people are showing pictures of dead babies and stuff like that. It's really disgusting. But they don't get shut down. It's hilarious. But this is what I do when I come here on TikTok. I actually break down components inside of my notebooks, and I actually give you places where you give you step-by-step instruction. It gives you a section for you to put your formulas and also your steps, not only on the dot side, which helps you do a little bit of graphing, but also on the grid side that I have on the other side. So it just really just kind of gives people a place to organize their notes, especially for students nowadays. But not only the space to organize your notes, this book is almost done. It also gives you features of some of the resources in the back of the book, like my factor sheets. Goes from 1 to 200. Like if you were having problems factoring or breaking down radicals, that's the place to go. So I have all these other resources in here to kind of help get up your memory of how to do things. Hey, we were doing this today. And we were doing this today, little place values. But also it kind of gives you the whole, like the percentage and the factors and percents of factors, how to go from that to that. Measures essential tendency, graphing linear equations and inequalities, and many other things. And also a conversion chart. Yay. So, but I do have all this available. I have this one for Algebra 1, pre-algebra and Algebra 1. And then I have this one, for Algebra 2 and pre-calculus. Same components in the front, but what's different is what's going on in the back. Okay, so you have your arithmetic and your geometric sequences, your logs and exponentials, then you have acceleration, we have our conic sections as well as our unit circle. So this is more for like the advanced students. Okay, there isn't any math notebooks for us. Teachers are basically giving out just packets and packets of papers, and you know, it's out there and it's getting out there. Then you have your Pascal triangle. So you can put it all together. Now, if you're left-handed, I also have a left-handed series. Check it out. Oh, someone's getting thankful for the lefties in your life. Okay, no more reaching around to do something to start on one side. Got you for your lefties. Same components, same information. Okay, this one is for my Algebra 1 people, but I also do have one for the lefties for the Algebra 2. All right, now, today, and if you want a copy of my notes, you got Audrey's notes. So if you want just a copy of all my notes from my TikToks, I have books 1 through 5 already available. Book 6 looks like it's almost going to be done, probably sometime this week. So what happens is, on the very bottom or somewhere on the page, you'll see a QR code. If you scan that, you will actually get the video of the live that I did to do these actual notes. Some people like it for reinforcement. It's great for homeschool parents. It's great for, teachers that are just trying to get their kids understanding or maybe have another voice to break things down. So they could just follow along and go step by step how I did each of the problems. So, and like I was saying earlier before things got all kinds of Cuckoo Johnson, today is basically the last day of my lovely sale. So if you want any of these books, all of the books are right now at $10.29. Okay, so if you want any of them, you can just look at the Service Plus, which has all of the links and everything. Now, if you came late and you really want to say, oh, I really missed this one, I really wanted this one, just go here, type in this, and you'll see a TikTok playlist. Okay, some of the videos that I have, like the shorts that I do, are on my playlist here on TikTok. Okay, so this is where you can go to watch all my replays from like February 2nd. Now, I am serious when I say, if you do need a tutor, get me now. because I know the what is it called? Interims are coming out soon. I don't know, for some states they're probably out this weekend. Some people are in the next couple of weekends, or some people got their interims this week. And you need a tutor, or your child needs a tutor, reach out, because today I had like 6 new students. So get your spot as soon as possible. All right. Do I mentor? What kind of mentor are you thinking about, Peppermints? I know. Trust me, I'm with you. I used to hate word problems as well. I don't think you heard my spiel. You just failed it. About how much? Okay. Yep, so definitely for tutoring. I used to, but then a lot of people would say they want help with tutoring, and then all of a sudden they just disappear. It's not because they got kidnapped or anything. It's just they just disappear. But if you're serious about it, I'm more than willing to do it. But there is a cost, obviously. Okay. When you come online, well, tomorrow. Oh. Well, then we just have to. Is this your first time taking it? User? Okay. All right, no problem, Sarah. Yep, so I will be on tomorrow at 6:45. I'll see if I can put a reminder post out there, put it in my stories. So at 6:45, I'm going to be looking at more of the ASVAT stuff. Okay, not a problem. Okay, this is your first time. All right, in about 2 weeks. Okay. Well, if anything, message me, and then we'll see what we can do to, change a little bit of the thinking. Okay? So here's my thing. The first time you take a test, you don't know the structure of the test. You have no idea how the questions are going to be asked. Now you do. So if it's fresh in your mind, write down roughly the problems that you were like, yeah, I didn't know anything about that. Just like a rough sketch of what the problem looked like. Okay, so that can be what was the other channel that you were talking about? Oh. Yeah, over here for all the replays. Okay, you're so welcome. Oh, same with you, Sarah. Have a good one. So that's the only thing. Like, some people are just like, oh yeah, I'm going to score very well the very first time. I'm going to be number 1. Look, sometimes it takes people time to see it. Hell, when I got my Praxis, I took that thing 11 times. 11, 1. Like, literally, I would go take the test, come home, and sign up for the next one. And I would stay up, and there were times that I was tired, falling asleep at the table trying to do math problems, all of this. And the only thing that kept me going is I want to be a math teacher. This is what I think I should be doing. And that's exactly what I was doing. Okay. All right, so you started guessing. I think Robert is, I want to say he's probably Main Street Tutoring. Oh, let's see if I can spell straight. Main Street Tutors, I know, is the name of his business. But he might be known as the math guy, the algebra, the AP math guy. I think it's this one. I think it's the AP math guy. I think it might be one of those two. Either Main Street Tutors, because I know that's the name of his business, is Main Street Tutors. And the other one could be the AP math guy. There he is. He's right there. So go talk to these people. I forgot who asked for that. Hold on. I think it was Shakira. There she is. All right. Go bond with him. He's right there. Main Street Math Tutors. Did someone say calculus? Yes. Go bond. Yeah, she's looking for calculus. And usually he's my go-to person if anyone asks for calculus. So you're going to go live in about 10 minutes. There you go, Shakira. Go. Be fruitful. All right, so again, I'm going to shut off. I'm going to get myself out of here. Do all this other stuff I need to do. But if you need tutoring, do not hesitate. Don't sit there like, oh, maybe I shouldn't. Oh, I don't want to bother her. Oh, no, bother me. That's my job. All right. I decided to leave the classroom to basically tutor people that needs tutoring. And I tutor people in all different time zones. Yes, I'm on the East Coast, but I also tutor people on the West Coast. So there's times, not tonight, but there are times I'll tutor at 11 or 12 o'clock at night. That's what I got to do. That's what I got to do. All right. So don't be hesitant. Don't worry about, oh, what if? No one cares. You want help? You want to achieve? You want to break through? You want to get your GED? Well, get off your butt. All right? Go reach out and let's get started. Okay? I say this out of love. For 2 weeks, I can pass. It's going to be up to you, user. It's going to be up to you. So I don't want you to sign up for tutoring and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, I got a tutor, so I'm automatically going to pass. Because one, that's not going to happen. So the other thing is how much work you're going to put into it. So I don't want to hear that you sign up for a course and then we're ready to go. And all of a sudden, oh, well, I got this function. Oh, well, my kid needs this. My daughter needs that. And I get that you need to do immediate stuff or an emergency comes up. But if you're just like, oh, my friend's birthday is next week, well, then you know what? Don't do this, okay? Because it is an investment, okay? It's like you don't want to take an extra math course. It's not a math course. Because since you want to take it in 2 weeks, let's look at what you're doing and let's tweak your thinking so we can increase your scores. Okay? Can I go now? Or do you need more pushing? You need more foot? Pushy in the back? You need more kick in the pants? What we got? Not a problem. All right. So if you need me, go ahead and reach out. We'll chit-chat some more. But I'm going to shut this live down. You guys have a great night. Be safe. Okay? All right, just text me, please reach out. Okay. All right, as soon as I get off this. Okay, everyone, have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow night at 6:45. Okay, spread the word. Love you.